Nobody's listening, right? Hi, Andy.
Hello.
Excited to talk with you this hour as though no one were listening, but curious if anyone is.
Yeah, this is really cool. This is from Gretchen. Thank you for talking about arts access. Hi, Elizabeth and Andy. I'm a longtime listener back to Lennon Parham on Totally Mommy.
Wow, shout out Lennon and that great podcast, Totally Mommy.
Love the show and listen every week on my long drive to work as the director of development at Nashville's Children's Theater, the oldest children's theater in the country.
Wow.
That's pretty cool.
Go Nashville.
We do productions for young audiences in Middle Tennessee, and my job is to raise money so that everyone has access to the theater we create for children in our community.
Amazing.
Most of the performances we do are for field trips. In addition, we have drama school for ages 4 to 18 and offer scholarships and financial aid because of our generous supporters. So if you wanted to know how you can help with arts access, a donation to your local children's or regional nonprofit theater is a huge start. It's very cool.
That's so awesome. Great. Thank you, Gretchen. You know, it just takes like one thing for a kid to see and for it to click and go like, oh,
well, that's the thing.
I want that.
You think about, I wish I could have a top of mind example, but when you hear like the stories of like origin stories of some actor and they're like, it was the moment I saw this thing.
Yes. Well, I had that.
What was it?
I mean, I'm sure I had these moments before this, but Dan Powell, shout out Dan Powell, in New York City, he and I went to see ASCAT at UCB. Mm-hmm. And it was my first time being at UCB. And it was like, oh, yeah, this is like this thing I didn't even know was missing from my life.
Love that.
It was, and then, you know, years later, I got to be the monologist on ASCAT a few times, actually.
Monologist?
Okay, I have a question. I'm about to sound real Republican.
Oh, good. We all know in your bones you are Republican. I mean, all your DNA is Republican. All your ancestors are Republican.
We don't know. We don't know.
We know.
Okay, I have a question.
You look Republican.
Do you think I look Republican?
You look Republican in the like, I'm a cute Midwestern girl. That's probably Republican. Yeah.
Okay, just real sidetrack before I get Republican. At pickup yesterday, after I had taken one of our kids to swim class,
yeah,
I was wearing like a straw hat, you know, like a...
Hey, by the way, we're going to circle back to how you're basic. I have something I want to talk to you about.
Okay.
And I think the straw hat's relevant.
I was wearing like striped shirt, jeans, tennis shoes, but straw hat I got at the Rose Bowl. It's like a sun hat. Mm-hmm. It's not stylish. It's like if I were going to work on the field, I'd put this hat on.
You got it at the Rose Bowl? What does that mean?
Flea market. Sorry.
Really?
Years ago, yes.
Oh, okay.
And sunglasses. And this very stylish looking cool mom comes up, and I've never seen her before, and she was asking for like application forms for after school programs and stuff. And I was like kind of chatting with her. I was trying to be really friendly and like in the know, and I think that backfired and she wasn't having it. She literally looked me up and down like she couldn't make sense of me.
Yeah.
And I, just going to your whole thing, I'm like, did I look like the farmer in the Dell or something? I mean, was it the hat that threw her? What was happening?
Well, I think those hats were cool like 3 years ago. So
that's honestly good for me. 3 years is not too shabby.
But this is what I wanted to talk to you about. You're actually doing pretty well.
Oh.
Do you want to know how, or were you not done?
I definitely need to talk about Republican things, but
no.
Okay.
Start Republicans, and then I'm going to make you feel a little bit better. I do want to thank this week's sponsor, Beis, for supporting our show. Now you don't need to choose between beautiful pieces and functional luggage. Beis luggage makes travel a breeze. Go to beistravel.com/NLR for 15% off your first purchase. That's spelled BEISTRAVEL.com/NLR. You're a Republican. Go on.
Okay. I'm a little like, I don't know how I feel about this trophies for all.
Oh,
like,
yeah. Me
and,
too.
And not to get real shitty. But, our kids had a talent show, crushed it.
Yeah.
Otis did Frostbite. He had 2 backup dancers.
Yep.
Teddy played bass. Her friend played drums, covering the Ramones' Blitzkrieg Bop.
Mm-hmm.
Crushed it.
Yep.
They all worked really hard to put a nice little show together.
Let's just say they would have been first place winners, if not at least in the top 3.
And then I want to ask you about this. So, yes, I think they would have been in the top 3 to 4.
Yeah, and we're not saying that as parents. We're saying that as anyone
factual.
that came in. Yeah, facts.
But there were some other really amazing... Honestly, that's not probably fair. I would say top 5. There were some great performers who also had clearly prepared and, whatever. Now, I fear that this is going to undo all of the arts, goodwill that we just got from Gretchen.
Cares?
Well...
I don't want to undo anything that Gretchen said.
Yeah, no.
But I thought, that's not what I meant.
But it sounds like she's doing theater that's prepared. And my whole point is, they give everyone awards, which is fine. Mm-hmm. We've been in this situation before, though, where for actual visual arts competitions, they're giving everyone awards. And there was a visual arts competition where one of our kids actually got one of the top awards.
Yeah.
But the way they presented the awards was as though we don't want to hurt anyone else's feelings. So we're not really going to even acknowledge that this is a top award. We're not even going to say out loud, oh, a few of our students got these top awards and are going on to the next thing. It was so kind of just fucking stupid. And I'm like, these softies are going to be spat out into the world thinking that they get trophies for the talent show. And
Careful.
I know. I'm torn because I also think there's a lot of value, and I'm sure for some kids, it's hard to get on stage, and it's a big deal to just be up there and doing anything. Mm-hmm. The kids that I take umbrage with, and it's really their parents, it wasn't those kids. It was more kids who just like the attention, are comfortable on stage, which is awesome, but didn't really prepare anything and were approved to be in the talent show to just be up there and kind of doing whatever.
I can't really
to music or whatever it is.
Okay.
There were really only a couple, but where you're just is this even choreographed?
And you're like, why are they getting an award? Listen, back in my day.
I'm not even that worried about the award. I'm like, can we have some standards?
Yeah. Well, it is interesting. It's did everyone get in? Because you did have to apply and submit a video of your talent.
I'd love to see if any didn't what they submitted.
Right.
I can't fathom.
Right.
But
also getting back to the trophy thing. Let's say there's one kid.
Yeah.
I think this is actually going to support our friend Gretchen in Tennessee. Okay?
Great. That's what I want this whole episode to be about.
Let's say there's one kid.
Yeah.
That is a cut above the rest of the kids, okay? But let's say that kid's parents don't know, all right? Mm-hmm. But they come out, talent show. What's their talent? Let's just give them a talent.
Juggling. Is that hard? It's hard.
No, you said it. We're rolling with it.
Okay.
Actually, maybe a great example because everyone's like, well, they fucking juggle, okay? But let's just hypothetically say that one of the teachers that's on the judging panel, his great-grandfather was an amazing juggler. So this teacher just knows about juggling. And this teacher sees this kid and is like, holy shit, this isn't just a good juggler. This is potentially a juggler of a generation in front of our
Watch out, Barnum and Bailey.
Exactly.
It's like the river dance. Michael, what's his name?
Michael...
Flatley.
I don't know.
It's the juggling version of that.
Okay.
So sorry.
No, fine. That must crush for people that know who that is.
He's the Lord of the Dance.
So they give this kid the prize of the whole thing.
Yeah.
A couple things are great about this. One, there might be some people that are like, why did the juggler kid win it all? He was great, but why did he win it all? And the parents might be like, whoa, we've never paid any attention to our juggling kid. And we've always been like, cool, you juggle, right? But now they're like, he just won first place in the talent show. And then the teacher walks over to the parents and is like, you have a really gifted kid on your hands. It's this kind of interactions that like signal to the kid, signal to the family, potentially like, hey, this is something worth pursuing.
Versus
if everyone gets
the
it,
same.
he's just the fucking kid that juggled. The parents don't think anything different anymore.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. You know, listen, also the talent show is set up this way. The one that really gets my goat, frost my cookies, is this art one, because there were a panel of judges. And of course, we're in LA. So the judges were like an executive from, you know, like very impressive people who are judging the art in whatever forms they came in. And for the school or whoever was in charge of the ceremony to make the choice to downplay people's success so that others' not success isn't like so... I don't know. It's just really, and it doesn't set these kids up for a life of like, I'm worried they're going to crumble when, you know, they get out there. And these kids, you know, we've talked about this before. It's like a generational thing. The confidence, great. We want you to have confidence. But I'm worried that there's just like confidence. And then you're going to get out there and just, it's going to be crushing instead of like, oh, I might not win every time. Oh, I might need to put a little more effort into this.
Yes.
Okay, so that's that. Now, I do want to hear why I'm basic.
I bet you do.
But I also have another segue into something that's very exciting for me to talk about.
Okay, we'll go through this real fast. There was a thing popped up in my Apple News that it was like, these are the quiet things that people are signaling as like signals of status.
Oh.
And I clicked on it like, ooh. And I was kind of appalled at how many of these things you already have. Okay. Was not expecting you to have any of them or me to have any of them on this list. And then I'm going through the list and I was like, oh, Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And okay.
I'm weirdly very excited.
You should be. Okay, you ready? I'm going to go through the whole list because it's pretty short. The first one was Lululemon out. In is Alo. Okay, have you seen Alo yogurt? Yoga. Alo yoga. Clothes. Anyways.
No.
Okay, number 2 on the list. The scent of Baccarat Rouge 540 will define 2024.
Thank you.
Wow. That's pretty wild. Now, you genuinely came across it in a genuine way where you smelled a woman.
I don't know perfume for Adam from Eve, but I smelt it
and
from a really clearly very rich person.
Now. And I know we've talked about this before of you smelling it, but you did say it was like a really cool looking lady, right? I remember that.
I bet she's checked all of these boxes that are on this list.
Did you smell it first and then see the lady and go, ooh? Or did you see the lady and then walk by her and smell her and go, oh?
No, I smelled it first.
Okay, cool. That's legit. Next one, having an older watch. So go get a vintage watch or something.
I have an older watch. It's not like nice.
Okay, this is probably nice stuff, I'm guessing.
Okay. Swatch.
The IT handbags this year are sophisticated, chic, and just a little different. We don't have to get into that.
I don't have handbags, but we did learn about my sister's. She probably would kill me for we can't talk about it.
I don't think we can talk about it.
Okay.
Let's just say Elizabeth's sister might have a problem.
Okay, carry on.
Okay, this is one I have seen. Arc'teryx. It's like ARC''Teryx clothes. They're like very high tech.
Yeah.
Have you seen that lately?
Yeah, but I haven't heard one thing except for Baccarat Rouge yet that I'm checking.
Fucking cool your jets.
Okay.
Jesus Christ.
Come on.
No, I know I'm trying to get through this, but you're making me mad. Anita Ko, go-to jewelry designer. Do you know her?
No.
Okay, good. Maybe this is good. This is making me feel better. Okay. Skincare routines will involve new face. Trinity Plus devices.
Well, I have news.
Tell me.
I want to I want to actually offload that puppy. I might be ahead of the curve here.
Well, it's starting to seem that way. But you with your new face, and for those that don't know, it's like some weird thing that you like.
I might put it up for sale on Instagram or something.
Okay.
Someone can buy it for me.
You go in and out, though, because you will come back to it, because there are so many articles like this that are like, it works, and then you just don't have the time to do it? Because I hear when you brush your teeth, you're definitely not doing 2 minutes of that. So I'm wondering, do you just not have time to do things?
Don't teeth shame me just because you have bad teeth, and mine are, every time I go to the dentist, they're like, whatever you're doing, keep it up. How was your dental appointment yesterday?
I'll get to that
Any
later.
feedback?
I'll get to it later.
Okay. The new face, I think, does work. And when I use it religiously, I'm like, oh, meaning like the most tiniest subtle of changes to my face. I'm just like, I don't have the time. Or I'm not, it's not that I don't have the time. I'm not committed enough to fold it into my routine in a meaningful way. And so I'd rather sell it to someone who's going to use it and give it a nice home.
Great. Do you have any Augustinus Bader skin products?
Oh, yeah.
Great. So
you know it.
That's a big one. Victoria Beckham uses those.
Yeah.
iPhone photos are out. Digital camera shots are in.
Okay.
Interesting. And that really is about it. There was also...
What?
Oh, a Dyson vacuum.
Yeah.
We got that.
Obviously.
And one
so-
of those outdoor pizza ovens. Those look cool.
I am so let down right now.
You have 4 of these things.
Out of like 20?
What
You
the
made it-
fuck do you want? Holy shit.
You made it sound like I was like, I am quietly peacocking success. Is that what it was?
Yeah, something like signaling.
Signaling
Status signaling.
status.
Like where people used to rock like a Rolex.
Where people are going like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Because I'm like every box, like drives a Volvo.
That's not on this list.
Wears stripes.
It's not on this list.
Doesn't brush her hair.
La Crusette is on this. Will never go out of style.
Well, why didn't you say that?
I'm scrolling to see if there are any more. Okay. You have a lot of these. I have 0, except like by proxy, I have 1 La Crusette Dutch oven. Mm-hmm. That's it.
Okay.
You're basic, actually. Fuck off. This was so boring. I only had 5 out of 5 of the things.
I do want to know, what does it say the brand of the handbags that are in right now? Just curious.
Unbelievable.
If it's Claire V, check.
Unbelievable. No, it's definitely not going to be Claire V. That shit's like, that's 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Whoa. Some of these bags are expensive.
Okay.
Aren't they, Anna Marie? Okay, here you go. All the It bags this year are a little sophisticated, chic, a little different. Okay, there's Loewe. Have you heard of that? Loewe.
Mm-mm.
Have you heard of Andiamo from Bottega Veneta?
Mm-mm.
Margot Tote, Margaux.
Prices of
from
some
the
of
row.
these.
These are all $4,000 to $6,000.
Oh my God.
What's a Margot Tote? I just know you're gonna like this. I just see Tote and I see how they're spelling Margot. I'm clicking through.
Is it Geaux?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Show it to me.
I'm trying to. It's trying to load.
Okay.
Margot, Margaux.
Geaux.
Tote. Jesus Christ. These are all
Can I see it?
$6,000 or more. Yeah. I'm going to show you. How?
I feel like Anna Marie's listening and going, please. Yeah. Duh. No, wait.
Do you think she
Can
has
I
a
see-
Margot? I'm trying to get a
Okay,
picture.
I'll get it up. I'll get
Margot
it up.
Tote.
If you can't get it up, I'll get it up. Oh, that's very nice. Very nice looking.
But
We're
don't
not
you
in
think
the
there's
times.
like lots of Well, the thing is, knockoff don't cut it for these things. You got to have the real deal, right?
I don't know. I feel like, so this weekend I was in Palm Springs with my ladies.
Mm-hmm.
One of my friends who is very high end has a guy in China who, like, she could get any of these for $500. So they're still expensive knockoffs.
Yeah.
And it's a situation where she gets all of her friends' orders, goes to China, and does it.
Do you know what serving CUNT is?
Serving cunt?
Yeah. Some reel came up on my feed, and it was like some cool, like 25-year-old talking about their fashion, and they kept using that phrase.
I'm serving cunt?
Yeah.
I wonder if it's like fearless businesswoman.
No, this was more hipster vibes.
Oh, interesting. Well, I'm reading Miranda July's book.
Who's that?
On All Fours. She's a very famous author.
Okay. From Sex and the City?
No, God. Jesus Christ. Oh, no. I'm so ashamed of you right now. I rarely feel shame on your behalf.
That's a joke.
Okay. Well, anyway, her book's incredible. She's just such a phenomenal writer.
She serves it.
But it is very, sexual, this book. And there's a lot of cunt
it really
and
is
slit
about it really is about all fours.
Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
Cunt, slit, all of this words that the way she weaves it in, it's almost become like I'm desensitized to them.
Yeah.
Okay. Palm Springs. Okay, so I did go to Palm Springs. Sorry, I'm pivoting.
Okay. So you don't know what serving that is?
No, I don't.
Oh, cool. All right. Big shout out to Beis for supporting this week's episode. As you have probably heard, we love our Beis Weekender bags, and we have an offer for you. If you go to beistravel.com/NLR, you get 15% off your first purchase. Elizabeth, I noticed you rocking the Weekender bag yesterday.
I love this bag so much. I want everyone to have one. It is so fantastic because it's sleek. It looks great. It holds up. It's super durable. You can bang that thing around and it's not getting messed.
They tout that it gets better with age too, which I like that. They thought of that.
I also love it's ingenious. You kind of pop it open.
Okay.
And so the top, when you're packing it, you have this open space to pack, and then it kind of collapses down. I can't even describe it, but it makes packing so easy and simple, and it keeps everything really organized in the bag, which I really like. There's a slot for your iPad. There are slots for other things that you need to put. And then also, obviously, I love the bottom part where you can put your shoes that are dirty. And I had cabin dirty shoes this last trip.
Yeah.
And I just wiped it out. It's so easy to clean.
Oh, what's the material like in there?
It's like easy to wipe.
So it's not like a fabric. It's like
it's very, yes, they have thought of everything.
Ooh,
so please go to
you're going to go to beistravel.com/NLR. That's BEIS travel.com/NLR for 15% off your first purchase. That's what you're going to do. They have over 30,000 5-star reviews.
Yes.
Crazy.
Great.
Go get it.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I went to Palm Springs this weekend. As everyone heard per last episode, I had like a full meltdown, very low place about lots of things.
Yeah.
So I wasn't even sure that I wanted to go because I wanted to see my friends. But I was torn because I also was like, I don't want to be this buzzkill for everyone. Things were not good.
Yeah.
Things were not feeling good.
You don't want to bring down the party vibes.
No, and it's like such a special weekend. This happens typically once a year, sometimes every 2 years, depending on what's going on. It's such a special group of friends. It's a couple of friends from like St. Louis back in the day. My childhood best friend is kind of the center of the wheel who brought all of these people together. And then we were all together in New York City, living in our early 20s, and they're very meaningful people to me. One of my friends had incredible, happy, positive life news to share, which was so exciting.
Nice.
And so, of course, we were celebrating that. Another one of our friends, it was her birthday. So it was like a lot of celebrating, and I didn't want to be Debbie Downer, obviously.
Right.
But you really encouraged me to go.
I needed you that cloud out of the house.
I know you did. It was beneficial for everyone. But I got there, and it was like, it's the secret sauce. I couldn't have fathomed how quickly my mood would have changed. They have this ability of lightening the mood, giving me also perspective on life, like the things that we're going through can feel hard, but also like these things are part of life. And I'm so lucky I have you as a partner to get through things. And honestly, perspective's important. And I really now look at what is on our plate and I'm like, I'm trying to be in the flow of like, this is all part of life. It's all part of a bigger picture. And as long as I have you and the kids, everything's fine. And there's also some other stuff going on behind the scenes, like that we're not talking about yet. The stuff with Ramona is still active and looming. And we're going to make some choices soon, which might be hard. Will be hard.
Yeah, it seems like we might have to make the hardest choice soon.
Yes. But having said all of that, these girls like totally buoyed my spirits. I was there for, 48 hours, drank a lot, ate a lot, pooled a lot.
What were you boozing?
Well, during the day, I had like maybe a spritz, like rosé spritz.
Did anyone bring seltzer in cans?
Well, they went to the store. There's like a big store run when they get there.
So was there seltzer in cans?
Yes.
There was, okay.
Yes,
what brand?
Like generic brand.
Oh, I mean alcoholic ones.
Oh, no.
Okay.
A lot of wine, and people are doing spritzers and stuff like that. And then a few people drink beer. And so I had like maybe one drink during the day. But then at dinners, these like amazing big dinners, we went to Arnold Palmer's, which I highly recommend in La Quinta. I had 3 drinks. I was just going to have 2, and then they peer pressured me. But that night was one of the most fun nights of my life because we went and had this amazing dinner. During the dinner, we like went around the table and spoke to the girl whose birthday it was and said memories with her and things like that, which were memories for all of us also, which was so fun. Got home and we're always just laughing and having a ball. And then we had this dance party by the pool that became such a fun thing. And I want to pass this along. I mean, I'm like, can I brand this? Can I make money off of it? No, is the answer. But it was basically, it started out just my one friend, Erin, who's really good at music playlists and stuff, and she works in music, DJing like a dance thing. And it was totally impromptu. We started dancing. And we all also have a similar musical language. Like many of us come from St. Louis in the like 90s, hip hop. So we're having a ball. And then another one of our friends started DJing, and it started to become a competition to see who could get us up dancing for more songs.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. And it was also very funny because one of my friends started playing like musical theater crap. And I was just like, what are you doing? Everyone sat down.
Yeah.
So that night at dinner, though, I had a very funny exchange, which I think you'll appreciate.
Yeah, maybe.
A little risky. You know, when us gals are together and we're serving cunt, we like... I don't know. We can get a little risque and
when
stuff.
The Gash Gang is together.
The Gash Gang. Okay. So one of my friends, it turns out, unbeknownst to me.
Yeah.
Also, my friend who is gay.
Yeah.
In this group, I think the only person who is gay.
Yeah.
It turns out hooked up with a TV personality that we're fans of.
Cool.
In grade school.
Oh, cool, but
or
not
like
as cool.
Not grade school. I don't know. Like junior high school.
Yeah.
But
who is it?
It's someone who I think wasn't doing talent shows back then, and then their talent has evolved in such an impressive way.
Love it.
And so, I kind of have like a little bit of a thing for this person.
Okay.
And I didn't know that my dear friend had hooked up with him multiple times.
Yeah. Whoa.
And so I was asking questions, and she said that one time they were at like a basement in someone's party. It's always in a basement. I got in your basement a few times in St. Louis and sure wish this was happening, but it wasn't.
Yeah.
But they were like making out, and she had a she had a vest on. And they were like pressed up against each other, and he came on her vest. Like she got jizz on her vest. And And then her mom, she had to like take the vest, this like nice vest to the mom, and I was like, what did your mom think that was? Of course she knew. And she was like, oh, she took it to the dry cleaner. I think she just thought it was like icing or something. I don't know, something else. And we were dying laughing. But the thing that was so funny.
Okay, can you talk about this?
Can I?
I don't know. Do you need to ask your friend?
I did ask her.
And she said it was okay?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I know. The thing is, I know exactly who it is.
Yeah, I know. So then I asked my friend how
You've never told me. I just know.
I know.
Oh, okay. And am I right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So I asked my friend, how was the dick? What's the penis like?
How would you even know?
And I love, because she met it. She's like, whatever.
Okay.
But I also was like, I'm always on a quest to find it. It's more of an objective scientific thing of, is my perception of what it is what it is?
What do you mean?
Like, for example, last night...
How I've convinced you that my 2 inches is enormous?
Oh, stop it, please, God.
But what are you talking about? It sounds like you want to find out if you've been duped all these years.
No, it's not related to you. By the way, you're perfect. And if anything, could have a little less. So I'm serious. But Andy, so what I'm saying is, for example, we were watching a YouTube video of a middle-aged couple last night that we've kind of fallen in love with.
Oh, he's packing.
You said he's packing, and I'm going... I don't know that he is.
But I want him to be. Listen, he might not be.
Yeah.
But if he is, that's so awesome.
I know,
You just really don't. You probably have a better sense of this.
Well, this is why I'm saying I always love to know what the truth is in relation to what I would have projected on this person. It's always fascinating to me.
Because you like to have the data. So you know
It's a
how
data
you're gay,
point.
how you so you know how good your radar is.
It is a data point, and just know, I'm always, anytime I meet someone who's rocking a penis, I'm even subconsciously deciding what I think it is.
Would you say every man that you encounter, you do math on how big their dick is?
Not like really doing math, because I think doing math takes like mental effort, but I think it's filed away. It's almost like you're not going, oh, that girl has brown hair. I'm not doing that either, but upon reflection, I could say she had brown hair. Similarly, I could say, I think he has this type of dick.
Whoa.
So, anyway.
Okay.
Okay, this is what's so funny. I didn't actually get the data I was looking for, but I got something so much better because my sweet, sweet friend, who's so gay and gave the gayest answer ever, because I go, how was the dick?
Yeah.
And she goes, soft. And all of the women at this table go, ugh. And we're like, soft? And she goes, well, no, I mean, it was hard. But like, I meant like the skin was soft. She was saying it as a compliment.
Oh, wow. Like
We
it
were
had good
dying.
skin
It
or
had
something.
good
Yeah.
soft skin.
Yeah, look, it wasn't one of those gross rough cocks. It was nice and soft. Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, it was soft.
Such a lesbian answer. All of us were like freaking out. It was
That's
so funny.
Fucking hilarious.
Oh, God. It was great.
Can I tell you about the dentist real quick?
Please.
So I went to the dentist, and I just want to jump to the main highlights. The dentist, the one that comes in at the end after you're cleaning, was sick and like comes in and announces that they're sick to me. I'm like, I don't want to know.
How so?
I'm in the dentist.
Say the words.
I'm a little under the weather.
No.
I don't.
No.
You don't
Just
tell
say
anyone at the dentist that.
Say, okay, I can reschedule.
Yeah. Like, it was so bizarre to me because I got my mouth open.
This is the doctor?
The doctor.
Oh, dear.
But,
that, I have to say.
Yeah.
I hate to say this.
Don't say it then.
Okay.
It's
like another half strike against, I feel like, what is up? By the way, a really hard profession, and we know has a high rate of...
No. Okay. A tough profession. Go on.
a tough profession. I have a lot of respect for it. Do I? I mean, listen, the thing is, I've just had weird dentist experiences.
Yeah.
The one in LA who always pressed his penis against my arm. I mean, through his clothes, obviously. And also, like, really...
What do you think that guy was packing?
Oh.
I think packing.
No, I think just normal.
Really?
Yeah, pretty normal.
Soft or?
He also fucked up my crown. Had to redo it. So not a good dentist, I guess. You could say objectively, kind of.
Yeah.
Anyway, but the discount was nice he gave me for getting for the old press and rub.
Oh God.
Andy, talk more about this
No,
dentist.
so
Sorry.
okay, so that happened, but that got me thinking, and this is what I was thinking about when I was getting the cleaning. So that the cleaning person is up on you, right? Mm-hmm. And I was thinking, like, if you're sick,
yeah.
My head is like right by this person's stomach, and I went on this like very compassionate fantasy of like, I feel so bad for the hygienists. Nailed it.
You did.
That like if they're having a tummy trouble day. Can you imagine?
Oh, I've heard major gurgling.
You have?
But it's usually hunger, I think.
Okay, but can you imagine if you are cleaning someone's fucking gross mouth and you're about to shit your pants?
Oh, well, I don't think that's... I think... Did I say this?
Yeah.
I feel like you have these hypotheticals about needing to shit your pants too often in the scheme of like how often that happens to people. I think maybe once in a lifetime, our average people
getting disrupted
under
at work?
the age of like 75 going, oh my God, I have to shit my pants.
No. But okay.
It seems to like, is this a thing that happens for you all the time?
No. Not that they're going to shit in their pants. Imagine that's horrendous. Like you are getting your teeth cleaned and the hygienist shits their pants right there. It's that bad. I'm saying...
No, I'm not talking about that.
I'm saying the hygienist is in a situation that they're like, sorry, I just need a moment. Excuse me for a moment. And they're like running to the bathroom.
Okay.
You don't think that happens more than once in a person's life? I've heard you run to the bathroom before.
Maybe 3 times, but to be like, it happens to be when you're up in someone's mouth. Like, yeah, that would be... but
that's your job. You do all day long.
I know, but I just don't think, like...
You're telling me you can't think of times where you've needed to get to the bathroom quickly during the day?
Well,
from Monday through Friday?
Not where it's
between 9 to 5?
But not where I couldn't go, excuse me just for a minute.
But okay, so...
I'm not stabbing the instruments in the person's mouth and then taking off.
Okay, fine. You're maybe right there. But I started thinking about it from both angles. The first question is, what profession would be one of the worst to be in the situation where, oh my God, I have to go to the bathroom? And the other is, what is the scenario that it's like the worst for the person? Because then I was thinking, if my hygienist was like, excuse me for a moment, but then I got to actually find out what they were doing, and they were like losing their ass in the toilet, and then they came back and finished working on my dental cleaning.
That's tough.
I have a real hard time with that.
Yeah,
like,
of course.
Real hard.
Of course.
That's probably happened to a lot of us.
No.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying right now, no, it hasn't.
No, because they're excusing themselves. They're like, oh, excuse me 1 second, I got to go check on something.
Andy.
And they're blowing their ass out, and then they're coming back.
I think we need to take a look at your diet. I'm serious. I'm
not having this. I'm not having... It's very rare that I'm like, ooh, I got to get to the bathroom fast.
There you go. And also, these are professionals. They know how to time their bathroom visits.
We're talking about a time where you have to go.
I know, but I think it happens so rarely. I'll tell you what the worst profession would be.
Please.
A paramedic. If you're in the middle of trying to save a life and you got to shit. I think some body things kick in.
Yeah. But that would be the thought of someone perishing because of your own diarrhea.
Can we talk about that? Because,
Just a surgeon? Oh my God, a surgeon?
Surgeon's tough, but they have to re-scrub in, and they don't. The good ones don't just skimp on scrubbing.
But maybe one reason that they're holding it is longer than they should, and then their hands are trembling because they gotta poop, but they don't want to go scrub out because let me just get the surgery done, then I can.
Oh God,
hard.
Hats off to surgeons. The idea. What make you now? Listen, we're as we mentioned, and we don't want to go into it right now, but we're in a precarious situation with Ramona, and it's bringing up some questions about timing and stuff like that.
Did you just hear my stomach, or it was one of our stomachs? It went wrong.
It wasn't mine.
Okay, that's fine.
Is for example, a paramedic or doctor or someone like that, where someone dies on their watch. Not because they tried everything they could, but because of something like that, like something out of their control that happened, but it's on them that had that not happened, you can't help but wonder.
Like say a surgeon or a paramedic had IBS and they knew they had IBS. A lot of people have IBS.
But it's not even whether they knew or not. Just, do you think that weighs on that person? Like, are they going to carry that? Or is it like, listen, I became a paramedic. I've saved so many people's lives. I help so many people.
Oh, but sort of like, but shit happens. And I'm not using that phrase. I'm not trying not to be lightly, but seriously, like, oh, but this thing happened. It was out of my control.
Well,
and the outcome was horrible.
Yes.
But this is the job sort of. And these tragedies are going to happen. But I think if it weighed on their conscience too much, they might not be equipped for the profession, right? It's almost like you have to separate it a little bit.
Yeah.
But it is probably heartbreaking. They probably have to like acknowledge that and then have to move on.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's tricky.
That's heavy. I mean, you add that to that sort of profession. We don't think about those kind of the ethical weight that people in the medical profession and paramedics and carry with them. Like, the responsibility is no joke. Serious.
Well, I was...
Dentists. Death creeps in through the gums. That's the thing. Go ahead.
Yikes. I was talking to my friend yesterday about our current situation with Ramona, and we might be in a scenario where it's time for her to be put to sleep. And we were talking about, there are people that can come to your house now and do that.
Yes.
And we were talking about, my friend had like a very specific experience with one of those people that I don't really want to get into. But we were talking about like, wow, that seemingly is like would be a hard thing to do, because when you're walking in that door that the family that you're helping is going to be very upset, and it just must be like, how do you hold their feelings into account and do your job and whatnot? So we're like, God, that's crazy. But then I was like, but also like probably every single vet, that's happening multiple times a week. I've never thought about that.
Well, this is why, veterinarians also have a very high rate of depression. And
oh, is that true?
And yes. And I think that it's kind of a thankless job. I think they see really bad stuff happening. They see mistreatment of pets. They also are doing things like putting pets to sleep and dealing with people who are highly emotional. Yeah. And I think it's a really, really tough gig. But similar to like hospice workers or death doulas or like pancreatic cancer oncologists, where it's kind of a lose-lose situation. But I think there are angels amongst us who have a calling for those sorts of jobs.
Yeah.
And are really cut out for them and know that the service that they're providing is like invaluable.
Yeah. There must be a reward that at least balances, if not outweighs, the other stuff, right?
Or like social workers who work in foster care.
My dad did that at a very young age and has like...
I didn't know that.
Yeah, and I don't think the stories I've heard were that it was so grim that maybe he wasn't cut out for it. We haven't talked about it that much in a long time, but like he saw
Is that what he did out of college?
Yeah, like he saw some really intense stuff.
What did he get his degree in? Social work?
I can't remember.
That's so interesting. I had no idea.
Yeah.
Wow. I'd love to talk to him about that. That's fascinating.
But yes, it's like, that's hard. So you would there are people that take on professions where they're seeing really intense stuff every day.
I know.
And then you
God
also
bless
think about
them.
the crazy ones like paramedics that are just like you are in it every day.
Well, this is also like when I'm talking about perspective, which I feel like I got getting away in Palm Springs and going, oh, okay, like, oh, I'm sad that I don't get to write make-believe for a minute, or like the things that are weighing me down are valid things. It's okay, but also like things could be just a perspective shift. Like, yes, there are people who are dealing with stuff this intense all the time. And we have it so relatively like frictionless, it just right now felt like there was a lot of friction all at once. But I don't want to get really emotional.
I know. Yeah.
But we'll speak to it. And I think we'll probably, this isn't me, what's that called where you're like shamelessly plugging or like being, I'm not trying to be gross about this, but I feel like I'd rather talk about it on our bonus episode this month on Patreon because I am going to be really emotional about the Ramona stuff than put out a whole episode where I just don't want to get overly emotional.
I see what you're saying. You don't want to put out, I guess what I'm trying to say is like, I understand you don't want to necessarily put out an episode that's like a Ramona update that becomes like a really hard emotional hour of.
Yeah,
I get that. But we'll see. I might make you do that. I'm joking. I'm just trying to make you laugh. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, actually, you did. That's good. No, you kind of switched it. Actually, no, you switched it off. I was about to be like, okay, and you can wrap this up. I need to go. But you got me out of it.
How so?
I don't know. Let's, we can carry on. Handbags. Should we make fun of Anna Marie some more? I love that lady.
Okay, hold on.
I was so drunk that while in Palm Springs at one point, I wrote down something I wanted to talk about on the podcast.
And this is so dumb. Or do you not even know what it means?
I don't know. I vaguely know what it means. I think one of my friends, like, I didn't know what the context was, what she was talking about, but she said really loudly, if I could have a fake cast, I would in a heartbeat. I think we were talking about wanting attention as kids. But she said it, and this is how I wrote it. If I could have a fake cast, I would in a heartbeat, in quotes, as a guy in a wheelchair walked by. So I think she said it really loudly as a wheelchair user went by us, which was the thing that was notable in my mind. Yeah. But the way I wrote it is absolutely insane. And I don't even know why I said in my mind, I should write that down.
No, because that is a pretty wild moment.
Coincidence, yeah.
I get that. I remember having cast envy as a little kid.
I had a cast.
Everyone's getting it signed and shit.
I loved getting it signed.
Yeah, but they stink,
Did you
right?
not have a cast?
No.
Never.
No.
I broke my elbow roller skating like on our driveway. And I do remember this being a thing that my parents got into an argument.
Oh, I remember this,
because my dad thought I was fine.
Shake it off.
I really honestly wonder if I was like kind of dramatic and always being like, oh, I hurt the, crying wolf.
Yeah.
But was like, shake it off.
Yeah.
And then my mom was like, I think I need to take her in. And they fought about it for a while. And finally my mom won. Oh, I bet she felt so smug coming back in with me and my little cast.
Yeah.
But yeah, got to have it signed a bunch. And I do remember it not smelling, but being very itchy.
Did you do the thing, if it was itchy, where you take the bike pump air thing and you blow air into it?
No. I didn't do that.
Oh, you should have. I would have thought your dad would have been all over that trick.
I don't know that was like a thing.
It was when I was a child your age, so.
Okay.
The kids in the know knew to get that bicycle pump and spray air in there.
Cool.
Wait, that reminds me. Hold on. This is kind of weird, and I haven't told you this yet because I feel like I am a hypochondriac. Would you say that's true, sort of?
It's interesting. Yes, kind of, but I think you're more of a germaphobe.
Well, yeah, that's true. But just like if something feels wrong with me, am I like, oh, my back,
God, that voice you do is so weird. because I know it's your like Jewish man
Yeah.
voice, and
Yeah.
I find it
Oy vey.
okay. I think that, yeah, I guess you could be a bit of a hypochondriac in that like a lot of attention is given to like relatively minor things. I think though I'm more of a catastrophizer, whereas like
for sure, yeah,
whatever
yeah.
I have going on.
Yeah.
For example, I got a spider bite this week, and it was like kind of gross for one day, and I was like,
Very gross. That was gnarly.
and I was like, it's a staph infection, like it's
Oh
a
yeah, you
this or
jumped
it's
to
that.
something crazy.
I always jump to the worst thing it
Yeah.
could possibly be. Luckily, it just kind of went away. Or it's still there, but, you know, it's
way
getting
better.
better. Okay.
Okay, so I don't know exactly when this happened, and maybe there's like a doctor that can put some thing on this. I remember I took a really bad fall skating on the half pipe maybe a year ago, maybe 2 years ago. And I don't know if you remember this, but like this whole area, like around my thumb, kind of
Swelled
wrist.
up?
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I just really felt bad on it. For at least the last month, every morning when I wake up, I'm like, oh, this fucking hurts.
Oh.
I bet I fucked up something way more than I thought I did.
Yeah.
And now I'm kind of like paying the price for it. And I don't know if it means I'm going to have like, am I going to have like gnarly
Tendinitis.
something crazy in that thing?
Well, listen, here's the thing. I'm not a medical doctor. I think we've made that clear.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
I feel like maybe you did.
Mm-hmm.
But unfortunately, we are at the age where these things just kind of happen. And
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, you should have gone back in time and done things differently. It's like sometimes things get fucked up in a way that they're not going to go back to the original status.
Yeah.
And that's just, I mean, that's my back. I can feel it right now. Like if my back's never going to be 100%.
Right.
But it's good enough.
What's weird?
What we want is good enough.
Yeah, I guess that's right. What's weird is like, and maybe I am wrong, but in my heart and my brain, I'm 100% sure this feeling came from that one slam.
It probably did.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm like this. It's like that happened.
Yes,
then.
that's why we need to, take it easy out on those wheels.
Yeah.
Did you have a helmet on?
Most likely.
Okay, I hope so.
Yeah, most likely I did. If I was on the ramp.
Yeah. Okay, great. Put helmets on when you're on wheels. I always find it interesting when I see like kids doing skateboarding without helmets. And in fact, someone I know is in the medical field.
Mm-hmm.
I see that happening, and I'm like, that's kind of surprising to me because I think it's pretty common knowledge that you're supposed to.
It's just
what's it called?
Yeah, for whatever reason, it's like a big part of the culture.
Cap
There's
that.
a very non-helmet wearing culture.
Well, I had a friend once who there was a lot of that type of stuff culturally ingrained in her. And she was like really athletic, really into athlete stuff and does, marathons and all these crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
But there was like one part of the culture was like she had to be up super early or she felt like she didn't count as a human being. And it almost got weirdly competitive where if like I was like, I'm going to start waking up at 6 to go for a jog. And it started to get unhealthy with us. She was like, well, then I'm going to be up at 4:30. She always has to be the one who had more kind of time put in. And there was totally this mindset of like having a helmet makes you less of a bike rider or whatever it is that you're doing.
Oh, really? For like biking back then?
Yeah, and I think it came from probably her dad just being like, it's fine. When I was a kid, we didn't have helmets. Mm-hmm. But I'm like...
Most cyclists wear helmets, though.
Now they do.
That's an interesting example to me for some reason.
But like, almost like the more dangerous it is, the more like authentic you are and helmet is just one example. There were like several, even like skiing and stuff without having helmets or just like.
Yeah, that was one I think people just, it's so funny. That's one that just like wasn't on people's radar. Like literally, I don't think anyone even considered it. And then it was like, then when one person had the idea, like we should be wearing helmets, it finally caught on and people were like, oh, Jesus. Yeah.
Of
why
course
aren't we wearing helmets?
Yes.
Yeah.
Similar to like, we should have nets up around our trampolines. I mean,
Yep.
I feel like my friend, the mindset would be like, we don't need nets. Or I remember being on a boat and being like, if I put a life jacket on, I was like a pussy, basically.
Yeah.
It's such an interesting, weird machismo mindset that I just truly don't understand. And I do not get why it's in skateboard culture at all. Like, is it just, it doesn't look as cool on videos or something? I don't know.
I think that's part of it.
But every time there's an interview with like a pediatric emergency room nurse or whatever, they're like, don't do trampolines. And, another place kids get hurt a lot is like spiral slides.
Really?
Yeah. Like, especially if you're going down with, I don't know, I forget what the rule is, but those, because the legs can get caught or something. Ooh. And then, like bike riding, skateboarding, any movement sport where you're not wearing a helmet is just foolish.
Yeah.
What do they call that? It's like, there's some cute phrase for it, like cap those noggins, or like bucket, like brain bucket.
I think that's the name of a brand of a helmet, brain bucket.
Bucket those brains.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's our PSA, I guess, for today. Well, good night.
Good night.
Good night.
Yeah, good night.
Okay, good night.
Good night.